to the news. I've been playing around with different playlists, music playlists, to listen to when I do my workouts, and the news is getting bumped real swiftly. Okay. Oh, geez. Get my timer. I'll get my act together, you guys. All right. So for the first minute, all you got to do is grab your Theraband, get a nice wide grip on your Theraband. And then we're just going to start to lift the arms up, lower them down. Start just in front of the body. Tune into your abdominal muscles. Just think about pulling your abdomen in slightly as if somebody's coming in for a tickle. So not so tight that you can't move anything, but just start to tune into your center. And then once you feel like you've got that nice firm center, now start to see if you can take those arms over behind you and then bring them back around in front. And as you go through that motion, can you keep your belly pulled in and keep your ribs pulling in towards each other? So we want to find most of the work coming out of the shoulders. So that means you can have as wide as a grip as works good for your shoulders. And then if totally overhead doesn't work for your shoulders, just keep it in front of the body. We got 6 seconds left. And time. Nice work. Okay, set your Theraband off to the side. Take it to the back end of your mat. We're going to do a little walking with a knee lift and then a twist. So you're going to step up, twist towards that knee, set that knee down, and then pick up the other knee, rotate, twist towards that knee, set it down. Once you get all the way to the front end of your mat, come onto your tippy toes, nice and slow, and just tippy toe walk your way to the back end of your mat. Once you come back to that back end of your mat, back to that walking and twist. Pick up your knee, rotate, notice where your balance is at. Doesn't have to be super high, but we just want to tune in, check with our balance, find a little action in our legs right away. Once you get to the front end of your mat, find your tippy toes and then walk yourself back again. Nice and slow, doesn't need to be fast. All right, and then once you find your way back, lift one knee, rotate, step forward, lift one knee, rotate, take it all the way to the front end of your mat. We got 15 seconds left. Once you get to the front end, lift your heels up and tippy toe walk all the way back. 5 more seconds to go. Just work through whatever you can get through in these last 5 seconds. And time. Nice job. Okay, grab your Theraband again. Next 30 seconds is just going to be some side bends. So now we want to find a slightly closer grip. So there's a little bit of pulling apart on the Theraband. Bring them up and overhead and just get some side bends going. Go just as far as feels nice, that you feel a little stretch through the side of the ribs, but not so far that your shoulder has to come forward. Got 10 seconds left of work here. And then you're gonna see how you're feeling this morning. If you're feeling a little bit tired or you feel a little lightheaded, I'm gonna say stay up here in this side bend maneuver. But if you're feeling really good this morning, you're gonna start to take it in big giant circles. Circle all the way around, come up and overhead, and then big giant circles go in the other direction. Take it slow, be super mindful here, just to make sure that you're not making yourself dizzy and everything's feeling good this morning. Alternate your directions. We got 7 seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, set your Theraband off to the side. Grab some heavy weights if you've got them. We're going to get right into our big muscles right away. So grab your heavy weights. We're just going to load the weights up at the shoulders. 30 seconds of squats, load it up at the shoulders. So we're just going to think up, back, bend your knees. That's the maneuver we're going for. Keeping your chest and your chin uplifted. Sit your butt back and then rise up. 30 seconds here. While we're doing this work, try to keep a nice even distance or keep your inner thighs slightly engaged. So we want to try to feel a little sensation in the inner thighs, that muscle that runs right up along the inside of the knee. All right, now set your weights down on the ground, and then you're going to step your heels onto the bar of your weights. So give yourself a second to find your way there. So this is going to make a nice heel raised elevation situation. Once you've got your heels on the bars of your weights, make sure that feels safe and comfortable, and right back to a squat. So hands are just going to load up at the shoulders. Think butt back, bend your knees. Take a few times to find that nice even distance between those knees, and then just take a nice steady pace. Working through those big muscles, so give yourself a little time. You might notice your breath comes up a little bit and you might get a little bit warmer here. We got 6 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Okay, step your feet off, wiggle out your heels if anything got a little achy there. And now we're going to take one hand weight and go probably a little bit lighter than your heavy weights. So find one hand weight, and now we're going to hold our squat position. So sit back into your butt. Hold that squat position, and then we're gonna, like we're putting our seatbelt on. So single hand, you're gonna reach up and over your shoulder, pull the weight back, but give a little bit of a reach. Reach over your shoulder, pull the weight back, give a little lift, and then find a nice rhythm here. Holding that squatted position. We're staying 30 seconds on this side. So we're just reaching over that shoulder, and then a little bit of a lift as we come back. 5 more seconds on this side. You got this. All right, switch hands, stay in that squatted position, and we're taking it over to the other side. So now maybe we're in the passenger seat and we're just reaching for that seat belt and then giving a little lift as we push it behind. Nice work. Keep a nice firmness in your center so that you're not dropping into your low back at all. 15 seconds left. Beautiful, you guys. Nice work. And time. Okay, we're going to stick with that single weight. Switch back to your other hand. This is our first speed round. But now if you're not feeling speed this morning, take it slow and mindful. The first 30 seconds, we're doing those jogging arms. So one hand is loaded, one hand is empty. So we're going to pump those arms. Keep a soft bend in your knees so you can let the ribs move a little bit, let your shoulders move a little bit. If speed's not for you this morning, leave the speed off, go slow and mindful, but try to keep your arms moving, even though one's loaded, at that same pace and rhythm. We got 10 more seconds working with this arm loaded. Go as fast as you can. Your heart rate's going to come up a little bit. 5 more seconds. All right, switch hands, but keep those arms pumping. Keep your soft knees. Keep your butt down just a little bit so you have plenty of room for your shoulders to move like you're jogging, but just the top half of your body is doing that work. Nice and fast if it feels good. 15 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Okay, switch back over to the other hand, a slow recovery. Take it into some chicken wings. So both arms are going to lift, but only one hand is loaded. We got 30 seconds on this side. Keep your abdominal muscles pulled in. Try to find most of that work just coming out of the shoulders. So the elbows lift right out to the side, lower at that same pace. So one hand is loaded, one hand is empty, but can you keep them both moving at that same pace? Nice work. 10 seconds left on this side. All right, switch hands, but keep that work going. Try to keep and maintain that nice even pace. And then notice here as you switched hands, did that other arm want to fly up a little bit? Try to keep it nice and stable. You guys are amazing. Nice work. 10 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Switch back to that single hand. And now it's going to be around for speed. So step your feet nice and wide, externally rotate your feet slightly. You're going to touch down to the ground, bring it all the way up. And as we pull it, we want to pull it close to the body, snatch it all the way up and overhead. And then as you touch down, you're going to switch hands. So we're switching hands down at the bottom, but we're going for speed if speed's working for you this morning. If you're not in the mood for some speed, take it slow. Focus on that zip up through the center line. Snatch that weight all the way up and overhead. As you're working through that squat, think butt back, bend your knees, keep your chest and chin lifted. And just keep in mind, if speed's not for you, go slow. "30 seconds left. You got this." Five more seconds. And time. Awesome job. Okay, we're going to switch over to some heavy weights. We're going to take it into some deadlifts. This is a working recovery. So grab some heavy weights and we're going to focus on our form here. So step your feet about hip or shoulder distance apart. Keep a micro bend in your knees. Tuck your chin in, and we're going to keep our chin tucked the whole time we're doing the work. So tuck your chin in, keep your chin tucked, hinge from your waist lower down. Keep your chin tucked as you squeeze your glutes and push your hips forward. We got 1 minute on the clock. You're going to go at a nice, slow, steady pace. Keep your chin tucked the whole time. Squeeze those glutes. So the focus here of tucking the chin is just to find some good form through the back chain of the body. So rather than lifting the chin up, which can create a little arch in the low back, we're going to focus on keeping that chin tucked. Push your butt back, hinge from your waist. Nice work, you guys. Beautiful. And time. Awesome job. Okay, set your weights a little off to the side. Clear your mat. This last round of speed is a little bit fun if you're me. So find your way to the back end of the mat. We're going to skip to the front end of our mat, and then we're going to jog backwards. So you're going to find a little hop and a skip, and then nice and speedy to the back end of your mat. Skip yourself forward, and then run yourself backwards. Try to just let your gaze stay forward so you know where the end of your mat is. Find a little bit of speed, a little bit of rhythm, but we really want to work through that backwards running. So if you don't like the skipping, you can always leave that off. But what we really want to work on here is that backwards running. Beautiful, you guys. You got 20 seconds left. Woo, and time. Awesome job. Okay, grab your Theraband, make it handy. Have a hand weight handy as well. We're going to come down into a kneeling position. So one knee down into a lunge. And then grab your Theraband. I'm going to turn my back to you just so you can see. So left leg forward, hold the Theraband in your left hand, and then the right hand's going to reach up and grab the bottom half. We're going to stick 30 seconds just pulling that top hand up. So we're holding that lunge position, nice and active in the legs. 30 seconds just pulling up. So we're working the triceps, working recovery, catch your breath. Keep your legs nice and steady here. Keep your abdominal muscles pulled in slightly. When I say pulled in slightly, it's just a light sense of engagement of the abdominal muscles, but not so tight that you can't move. All right, now we're going to switch and work just the bottom half. So top hand is going to hold steady and the bottom arm is going to pull down. And time. Set your Theraband off to the side, but we're going to stick with this lunging position. And now we're going to do just a little bit of hip mobility work. So first 15 seconds, or excuse me, 20 seconds. Where did I learn to tell time? We're just going to drop the knee forward and pull the knee back. You're going to let your knee go past your toes if it's comfortable for you. If that creates any discomfort, you'll just go as far as feels right. But it is safe to let the knee go past the toe. All right, now we're going to angle that leg out. So toe heel your feet out about 45 degrees and then right back to that movement. Reaching out through the knee and then pulling back nice and strong. All right, one last time. We're going to toe heel that foot out nice and wide. So go out as wide as feels right to you. Everybody's external rotation here will be a little bit different. And then right back to it, dropping the knee out and pulling it back with control. Staying nice and upright with the torso, letting most of that work come out of the hip and the leg. Awesome, 10 seconds left. And time. Walk that foot all the way back in, find that lunge. And now we're going to take some back knee up. So you're going to curl the back toes under, lift the knee up, lower the knee with control. Lift the knee up, lower it with control. Now here's a place that if you like, you can use your hand weight as just a little bit of a handhold, and that might help support your torso. So you can focus on pulling that knee up, lowering it with control, but without so much effort in the upper body that you can barely get any work done. Go as fast or as slow as feels right to you, but we want to make sure we lower that knee with control so we're not smashing our knee on the ground. Beautiful, you guys, 30 seconds left. Woo, and time. Bring that knee down, step your other foot back, and now we're going to set ourselves up to find that lunge on the other side. And then grab your Theraband. We're coming back to that lunge. And now with the right leg in front, right hand is going to be on top. We're going to drop that Theraband behind the back. And then the left hand is going to do that regrab. Once you've got your handhold, we're working 30 seconds in the top arm. So the bottom arm is going to stay stationary. Top arm is reaching up. We're going to keep our abdominal muscles nice and firm. Legs nice and stable. Beautiful work, you guys. Nice. Okay, now top arm stays steady and the bottom arm pulls down. Holy smokes, you guys are so stable. I'm like, no cues to give. You look amazing. 7 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Release your Theraband, set it off to the side, but keep that lunge position. 20 seconds, lunging to the front. So we're letting the knee come past the toe, bringing it back with control. And you're going to go just as far as it's safe in your knees and in your hips. All right, now toe heel it out to about 45 degrees. So out to that angle on your mat and then back to it. Dropping that knee out, bringing it back with control. All right, now we're toe heeling it out as wide as your body allows, but you're angled forward. So your heart and your hips are still angled forward. Just the leg is rotated out to the side. and then right back to that leaning out and bringing it back in with control. Ten seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, toe heel that foot back into that lunge position. Now add your weight if you like. Use it just as a little handhold so it brings the torso up a little bit, but we're curling the back toes under. Pick the back knee up, release the knee with control. Slow and steady here. So you have all the control, so you're not just dropping that knee onto the ground, engaging all the muscles in the leg. Lift the knee slightly and release it nice and slow. 5 seconds left. You got this. Woo, and time. Nicely done. Bring that knee down. Spin those legs around. Come to a tabletop position just for a second. Take a second to just bop your hips a little side to side. Soothe out anything in the legs that you may have come across. And then when you're ready, we're going to spin it around, sit on our butt, and take it into a V-sit. So grab your Theraband. We're going to wrap that Theraband around the bottoms of the feet. And then once you've got that hold, you're going to lift the legs up. You're going to reach the legs long and draw back in with control. Use your Theraband to give you a little feedback and a sense of control. If that upright position with the legs lifted isn't for you this morning, keep your heels on the ground, lean back a little bit, keep that nice long spine as you come back up. So that's the key here, finding that hinge from the hips. So we're working into the hip flexor muscles and the abdominal muscles. But if keeping the legs lifted just doesn't feel good to you this morning, keep the heels on the ground. Beautiful, Karen. Nice work. Yes, Liz. Oh, you guys are amazing. Nicely done. Okay, set that Theraband off to the side. Clear a little space in your side to side movement space. So we want to be able to roll to one side, think knees together, lift your hips up away from the floor, set your butt back down, roll over to the other side. Keep the knees together, lift your hips up, think ribs up and away, roll back over to the other side. Try to keep that tall arm position since we're not staying there too long. So we're working into the shoulders and the side body, but it's not a long hold. So you should be able to sustain it. If at any point it feels like it's too much, bring the elbow and forearm down. But if you can keep that tall arm, lift the hips up, roll over to the other side, lift your hips up. Nice work. Twenty seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Okay, we're rolling down onto our back, but take your Theraband with you. We're going to take it into some hip bridges, but we're going to hold the Theraband. So think nice close grip, pull it apart, and then maintain that shoulder distance space. We're going to hold the hands in front of the chest. That's going to stay stationary. And then we're just going to work into some hip bridges. So you're lifting your hips up, squeezing the glutes, lowering with control. But the whole time we're here, we're keeping that Theraband pulling apart at the chest. So there's a little bit of effort in the arms, the armpit, chest, and the upper body. And then we're just lifting the hips, squeeze the glutes, lower with control. And time. Awesome job. Set your Theraband off to the side. We're going to take it right into some full body crunches. So legs are going to come into a tabletop position, hands behind the head. And then as you hug in, elbows and knees are going to squeeze and then release it back out. Hug in and squeeze, release it back out. And then if you want that little bit extra, then you're going to extend the legs long as well. So as you hug in and squeeze, and then as you release, legs are going to reach out. If that feels like a good amount of work for you. But if it feels like just enough work here, keeping that bent knee position, elbows and knees come in for a squeeze, and then release. So the goal of the work here, contract the abdominal muscles, and then relax the abdominal muscles. And then just watch your head and your neck. Make sure that you're not yanking too much against your head. Let most of this work come from your torso. And the hands are just behind the head to offer a little support, and then find that curling in sensation. And time. Awesome job. Release your feet down, release your hands from behind your head. The last minute of work is just nice. Find a figure four shape. So bring your right leg across your left, and then we're going to lift the left leg up, thread your hands through, grab, hold. Maybe you hold on to the back of the thigh, or maybe you hold on to the top of the shin. But we're just drawing those legs in, getting a little stretch. Just make sure you only go to a depth that feels comfortable. You want to make sure you're breathing pretty easy here. 10 more seconds. And time, we're going to release that, switch the cross in your legs. So now left leg is going to come across the right. Lift your right leg up, thread your hands through, find a handhold that works good for you. So maybe it's the back of the thigh, maybe it's the top of the shin, and then just hug it into a place where you find a good sensation on the outside of your left hip, but you're breathing comfortably. And time. Awesome job. Release those legs. Roll up to a seated position. We're going to take our legs out nice and wide. So think a nice wide seat, but active in the legs. So we want to find a wide position that feels comfortable, and then actively draw your pinky toes back. Keep a nice uplifted spine, and then walk yourself out to a depth that feels good to you. So you're going to find a good stretch in the inner thigh and the groin. Make sure it feels like a nice sensation. Cool, come up nice and slow. We're gonna rotate the torso over one leg, and then keeping your hips facing forward, but rotating the torso, lean over that leg, soften your nose towards your knee. Beautiful, come up nice and slow, take it back to center and then reset. Make sure your hips are facing forward, rotate your torso, and then lean over that other leg, softening your nose toward your knee. Nice, come up nice and slow. We're gonna bring the soles of the feet together. So think butterfly position. And then once you've got your way there, take a couple of flaps of your knees. Just make sure it's a good position for your legs. Your diamond shape can look like whatever. So your heels might be further away or closer, just depending on the variations in your hips. And then once you feel like you've got a nice position, hands to the insides of the knees, but we're gonna push the knees up into the hands. So your hands are gonna offer a little resistance. Push your knees up into your hands. Hands help resist. Hold that upward pushing position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, catch hold of your toes, lean your chest forward. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then lift up through the top of your head. Let your chest follow. Help those knees come together. Come all the way up into a standing position. And then just for one last little stretch before I send you guys on your way, take a nice big breath, reach up and overhead. And then as you exhale, reach down towards your feet. Keep your knees slightly bent. Take a nice big breath here. Beautiful. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up nice and slow. You guys are amazing. Grab your foam roller if you're sticking around.